Well, hello, welcome back to Sink and Sabi. This is Sejal, and today I'm going to talk about something that I have been delaying for the past 10 days now because it's a very sensitive topic to me. This is a topic which sort of helped me a lot in understanding relationships and understanding what I want from a relationship and how I see a healthy relationship. And I think that this is something that will help you guys too. I asked a lot of my friends whether they know about this particular concept, and they told me that they don't. And I thought that I should really make a video about it because this has been really helpful for me, and you will see how this will help you in the future if you watch the entire video. So without further ado, let's get into the video and let's understand what attachment style is. Okay, so when you're young, a lot of people say that attachment style is something that is developed when you're about 5 years old, but I don't personally believe it because I don't really remember how I was treated in my house or how I was raised as a child. So I particularly feel that there are a lot of reasons that can affect your attachment style, which is maybe somebody was bullied as a teenager, or maybe something drastic happened in their past relationships, something that changed their view of looking at a relationship and what they want from it. For me, I think there are a lot of factors, and also know that there is not one attachment style that you have. You can always change it. It also changes according to the person you're with. So yes, don't feel that this is something that will stay with you forever, and you can always change it. So there are 4 kinds of attachment styles, and one of them is very healthy, and the other 3 are very dysfunctional. So the first kind of attachment style is the secure attachment style. So the secure attachment style is the one in which a child was basically nurtured in the right way. So there is no right way to nurture, there's no right or wrong way, but whenever a child has an emotional need, whenever they were treated in a very balanced way, that is when you grow up with a secure attachment style. So people with these attachment styles generally have a very healthy outlook of a relationship. They have a very positive self-image. They also view their partners as a very positive person, and they ask for whatever they want from a relationship, and they are not someone who will be very clingy or will be very needy. They know how to keep the right amount of emotional dependency in a relationship, and they also know and value space in general of their partners and of themselves, and they have a very positive outlook of a relationship. They will know when to leave a certain situation if they feel that yes, this is not something that they would want, or this is not something that is serving them anymore. The second type of attachment style is anxious preoccupied. When kids are not nurtured properly, when I say properly, it means that one second they whenever they cried, I mean their parents were there for them, but the next time when they cried, their parents were like, I can't do this, take this away from me. There could be another reasons as well, but if we see and if we go back into the childhood, this is how they were raised, and these kind of people grow up to have the anxious preoccupied attachment style. Now these people are people who lack a certain sense of self-worth. They are the people who generally come across as clingy or as very needy. They will be the people who will want to always stay with their partners. They will be the people who would want to, they will text back to back, they will call their partners all the time. They would want, they are also the people who put their partners on a pedestal, and their life basically revolves around their partners. Now, generally, the people with anxious, preoccupied attachment style will always attract people who are dismissive, avoidant. Now, dismissive, avoidant is the third type of attachment style, which we'll talk about later, but they generally attract people who are emotionally unavailable. So it's basically a cycle they get themselves into. They will always expect more, but when you attract an emotionally unavailable partner, that is not something that you will be receiving. People with this attachment style, their basic goal in a relationship is the validation, and I wouldn't like put it in a very negative light, but this is how they see relationship. They see it as something which in which their partner should always, sort of tell them that, constantly reassuring them that yes, they love them, or they are there for them. They generally have this thing going on in their head that whether their partner like them or not, what will happen if they leave me. Ask anyone with this attachment style, they will always have this thing going on in their head that I can't live without them, or I can't live without my partner, or basically I will just die if I don't, if that person leaves me, or if that person just goes somewhere. Now, there are certain things that people with this attachment style do. They will tell their partners that, okay, now I'm done, I can't do this anymore and I just need to leave, when they don't have any intention of actually leaving. And when you're attracting an emotionally unavailable partner, they would not come and reassure you, and this will hit back. You'll feel even worse after that, because you wanted that sort of validation and you didn't get it, and that will just trigger your anxiety even more. Now, there are certain ways in which you can actually heal from this attachment style. First of all, you should have a sense of purpose. Like, you should know why you're doing it. You should know that you don't really need a partner, or you should know that you're enough for yourself. And that should be enough reason to heal from this attachment style. Now, these are very deep-rooted issues, and they just don't go away like this. I mean, it really takes a lot of effort. It will be a long process, but there should be a reason for why you're doing this. Do it for your self-respect. Do it because you want to have better relationships in the future. The one thing that you can do is basically understanding yourself, where your emotions are coming from. For example, if you feel a certain way, if your partner slept before texting you back, write the emotion and write the logic. You might feel at that point of time that they didn't text me back because they don't care about me, and the hidden reason behind this thought is basically because you feel that you are not really worthy of their attention. Basically, everything in the end boils down to self-worth issues for this attachment style. You should basically track that particular emotion with logic. For example, they didn't text me back not because they don't care, but maybe because they slept. So just chill out. Just do this every time you're in that deep emotional state where you just can't think of anything else. If you are single right now and if you have this attachment style, please do not attract people who are emotionally unavailable. Attract people who have a secure attachment style, because that can really change you and your outlook of a relationship, and you can see that yes, this is how a healthy relationship works. Now, this brings me to the third attachment style, which is dismissive, avoidant attachment style. Okay, now these are the people who, how do I put it? These are the people who basically think that they don't need a relationship in life. They are independent, and they prioritize their work almost all the time, because they feel that a relationship is not a very important part of life. But deep down, they do need that. They do need a relationship, and they do need the kind of bond that a relationship has. From the outside, these people will look like the most independent people, like they're very emotionally unattached to people in general, and they don't have a lot of friends. Maybe they do have a lot of friends, but they almost like keep a distance between every person and themselves in their lives. They will always prioritize work over relationships. Now, a dismissive avoidant person will generally attract an anxious preoccupied person because it's sort of, it feeds their ego. Deep down, they do need that sense of a relationship and that sense of love in their life, and that is why they attract people with anxious preoccupied attachment style, because they are the people who will give and give and give, and not really, even when they're not getting anything back, they will be the people who will give and give and give, and that is something that feeds the ego of a dismissive avoidant. Now, in no way do I mean to say that they don't have emotions, or they don't want to fall in love, or they don't want that kind of a relationship or that kind of bond. It's just that this is how their attachment style is. This is what their mechanism is. Whenever things feel very heavy, whenever somebody is trying to be very intimate, they will sort of close off, because a part of them, like a major part of them, feels that they don't need relationship. So they have this belief that things might not work, or they have this belief that they might take up my own space, and they might take up my personal time, and this might not work in the future. So they sort of emotionally close off. Now, people with this attachment style see emotions as a weakness. They basically, in their childhood, they were nurtured in a way, not in a way, like they were nurtured by parents who also saw emotions as weakness. So they had to be like independent and do everything by themselves, and they didn't ask for help from anyone. So they grew up to be people who didn't see emotions as a very important thing. Now, these are the people who will always have something on the side going on for them. So that is why people who are dismissive avoidants are workaholics. I'm not saying that all the workaholics are dismissive avoidants, but dismissive avoidants are generally workaholics, or they have something going on the side, because they don't want to prioritize this particular thing in their life. They don't want to prioritize their relationships, because they don't want to be involved emotionally in a relationship. Narcissists are dismissive avoidants who will do it intentionally. They are the people who will play games with you intentionally. But there are people, on the other hand, who are dismissive avoidants, but they are not narcissists. They will sort of attract you in a relationship, and they will have a secure attachment. They will feel, it will feel like they have a secure attachment style in the beginning, but as the intimacy sort of becomes deeper, they start pulling back from the relationship. It might be because they don't want to get hurt, because subconsciously they feel that they don't deserve that kind of love, or they don't because they don't want to get hurt. Before anybody else hurts them, they try to pull themselves back and be like, I don't want to get involved in this. Now, people with these attachment styles will have certain strategies to push their partners away from them, or for them to pull back from the relationship. They will be very secretive about their life. People who are dating a person with this attachment style would always feel as if they're being kept in the dark, because this is something that dismissive avoidants do. They don't want to make you a part of their life, because they don't want to be very vulnerable, because again they see emotions as a weakness and they don't feel that they want to connect with you on that level. I mean, they would just let you know that your emotions are your own business and this is not something that they will keep as their own priority. Now, people who are dealing with these kind of people need to know that it's not something that they do intentionally. It's something that comes from their childhood, from the way they were treated, and it's not like they will tell you that yes, I had this kind of childhood, because they don't really know themselves. None of us really know what happened to us till we were 5, and these are some things that are very deep-rooted issues. So it's not like they would know what's going on, but the only way that you could know is by their behavior right now in the relationship as they are. Now, the fourth type of attachment style is fearful avoidant attachment style. Now, this is the worst kind of attachment style, and it's like, because it's a mix of anxious, preoccupied and dismissive avoidant. At one point of time they will be very clingy and very needy, and a day later they would feel like they don't want to be a part of this, or they would just feel like relationships are not for them, or they would just feel like that they don't want to be connected emotionally, or they might feel too vulnerable by expressing themselves emotionally, but they do want to be clingy and they do want that sort of emotional dependency. Also, one thing that I want to share is that it's not like you have one attachment style for the rest of your life. You can always change your attachment style, and it's like, it also depends on the kind of person you are with, and it also depends on the stage of life that you are at, and it can change. I have had an anxious attachment style. I have had a dismissive avoidant attachment style. I am currently having a fearful avoidant attachment style, and it is a bit weird, but the key here is to know, when you are in a relationship, the key here is to know what kind of an attachment style you have and what kind of an attachment style your partner has. Even when one person knows the theory behind attachment style, it really can change the entire dynamic of a relationship. So yeah, this is it, and this is a general overview of all the attachment styles. Let me know if you guys want me to make a detailed video of each of these attachment styles, the childhood issues that lead to these attachment styles, or how to overcome the attachment style and how to get to a secure attachment style from an unhealthy one. Before you go, don't forget to subscribe and press the bell icon so that you can get notified whenever I post next. And yeah, that's it for today's video, and I will see you in the next one.